Greetings, family. Greetings, family. Hello, 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 everybody. Greetings, 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 greetings. I hope everyone is doing well tonight. Please come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Okay. A very, 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 very awesome evening to everyone. Hello. Yeah, I'm live. Okay, sure. Hello guys, how are you doing? I hope everyone is doing well. I'm so sorry. My sincere apologies for coming in a bit late. As I promised, this afternoon that I will be live tonight with Owamie. Owamie, she's a South African YouTuber. So we are, myself and her, we're going to have a conversation tonight. We are just going to talk. We don't have much that we are going to do, but we're just going to talk. Everybody, come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. Come. Let me know where you're watching me from. Let me know where you are joining in from. Let me know which part of the world you're tuning in from. Okay. I see somebody says someone better record this. Okay. Hadebe says Ninja signing in. I guess all those people were saying, okay, let me see Owamie's followers. Let me see Owamie's followers before before we begin to talk and stuff like that. Let me see Owamie's followers. If you're Owamie's follower, I'm sure you guys have got a certain code, that you use. I see somebody saying Ninja, another one is saying Ninja. I'm sure that's your code. So if you're Owamie's follower and you are one of the ninjas, just type a ninja. Just type ninja. Let me see Owamie's followers, and let me see everyone who is a strong follower of Owamie. Ninja Nation. Okay. I'm Owamie follower. I followed you now. Ebbs. Okay, Ebbs. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Okay, so Owamie, if you have just joined in now, please kindly send me a request. Send me a request. I can see all. Oh Jesus, your followers are here. You have a lot of them. See, everyone is saying, ninja. Okay. You are gay, guys, That's a very unfortunate statement, to say about a gentleman like myself, But anyway, I posted something on Facebook yesterday, and then somebody again came and said, you are gay. I simply said, bring your sister here, Bring your sister here, let her decide whether I'm gay or not. So anyway, Owamie's followers, wow, I see you guys. You're all here. You're all here. You're all here. You're all here. I see you. Boldly Owamie. Okay, Boldly Owamie has just joined in. Okay, guys, keep coming in. Tell a friend to tell a friend, and tell another friend to tell another friend again, that I am going live with Owamie right now. Okay, so let me add her. Let me add Owamie. Okay, I've just added Owamie right there. Let her join in, and then we see what's up tonight. Hello.
Hi guys.
How are you?
Fine, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. You're welcome, Owamie. You're welcome. Anyway, yeah. So I'm sure everyone can see. You. Please, just greet your followers. I saw a lot of them on this live broadcast. There's just a lot of your followers. Please just greet them. Just say hi to your followers. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, ninjas. Listen, Elena, you better behave. Behave. Behave, ninjas. How are you guys? Thank you for tuning in. So yeah, and thank you, Jay, for having me.
Oh no, my it's my pleasure, It's my pleasure. So
Yeah.
let me tell you, first and foremost before we start this, someone sent me a link to your channel, and it was a video. It was the video that you did, um where you were talking about me and stuff. So I was intrigued. I was like, oh, okay, who's this? Went through your channel, and then I saw your work. I saw everything you're doing. I should say you are doing a great work. You are really, really doing a great work. May God bless you for that.
Thank you, Jay.
Yeah.
Thank God to
Yeah.
the person that sent you the link.
Yeah, no. We I really thank God for the person who sent me the link. So, because one thing about me, I'm a very easygoing person. A I'm not uptight, like your typical pastors that you meet on a day-to-day basis. I love to crack jokes. I can be hilarious at times. I can be funny at times. So I just, took just a bit of a bit of your clip, and then I posted it on my Instagram, and then I said, with sarcasm, obviously. And then I was like, there's something about South African YouTubers. One day I'm gonna slap them. Then I saw you. you know, then I saw you doing another video again, where you were saying, "Oh, Jay Israel is coming for me. He wants to slap me." I laughed. That's when I was like, "Okay, come here, let's talk. Come, let's talk. Come, let's talk, and let's decide if anybody's gonna be getting a slap."
Ninjas, you guys that are claiming I'm blushing, I have blushed. This is the blush I have on. You guys can see it. I told you to behave, but okay. So anyway, when I saw that, let me just go ahead and say, before I made the first video that I obviously made, I saw
Okay.
the picture. The picture was uploaded, I think, about a day or two before I actually released the video.
Okay.
And so immediately I saw it, I will not lie, like I was like, okay, like this is a very huge looking bodyguard, Like he's very, very muscled, he's very big, and he's holding a really, really big gun. So I'm like, obviously, like this guy has to be expensive, Jay. Like, there are cheap bodyguards and the expensive bodyguards. I feel like, you can basically, differentiate. Someone's not going to spend all their time in the gym and I guess go get trained to carry such a heavy firearm and they come cheap, right? So when I
Mm-hmm.
saw that, I was like, I do remember that I saw posts because I followed you a long time ago. I'm actually surprised that you had never come across my channel because
Oh,
it's not
wow.
even the first video I've ever done of you, right? Even the
Wow.
time that you did the interview with Jackie Pamutsi, I actually
Oh,
even uploaded the live on my channel. So
no,
it's
I
actually
saw
there.
that. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I saw. Yeah.
Yes. So
But I just saw it when I went through your channel just a few days ago.
yes. So,
Yeah.
like, it was not even the first. So, I follow you. And then I was like, okay, no, but then, that's fine. But when I saw that, honestly, I was like, Jay Israel, please tell me, like, I need that money. Where is that money coming from? I also need it. You bought very expensive cars, one after the other.
Um. Okay. I don't know. I don't know what I should say. On that, but um. I think it was just a time. It was a time where I felt like I need to reward myself, for the hard work, that I've put in, and for everything. So I was just like, okay. And mind you, I did not have a car. When I bought those cars, I did not have a car. Last year, I think a year and a half ago. No, about 2 years ago, or rather a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, because the whole of last year was affected by the pandemic. About 2 years ago, I gave out everything I had. I gave out all my suits. I gave out all my clothes. I gave out all my cars. I emptied my bank account. I gave out everything, literally everything, and I was left, with nothing. I wanted to start afresh, you know. That's when I started working for myself and working, really hard, doing business, spinning deals and doing all that. So it got to a point where I thought, okay, I've really worked. After everything that I went through in my life, after, giving away everything, not because I wanted to, but because, I felt obliged, to do that, because of the things I was going through at the time. So I was like, okay, I'm going to reward myself. I bought a Bentley. I bought a Bentley. Actually, I bought it in December. I did not even buy it. I only posted it maybe like 3 months ago. But
Yeah.
yeah, I bought it in December, just before my birthday, and that was like, I was giving myself just a birthday present. Then I think maybe a few days later, I saw one car. There's one car that I saw. It's a Chrysler, an
Mhm.
SRT. It makes so much noise. I've always wanted that car, when I was growing up. So I was like, this used to be my dream car. Let me buy it. So I also bought it. And then I bought those two cars. Then I stayed for some time. Then after some time, I bought a Mustang. I bought, a BMW and so on. So when I posted those cars, I posted one today, there were other one tomorrow, the other one the following day. So people thought, oh, he's buying cars every day, but I've always had the cars, but I was just not posting them.
But Jay, think about it. Even from December until now, which is July, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You have, is it 5 cars? Four?
It's about one, two, three, four. It's four.
4 cars, right?
Yes.
And what about really expensive cars?
Yeah, we can agree to, yeah, we can say that. We can say that.
No, that are really expensive cars. Like I saw them, and like these are not like your old beat up cars or anything like that. And obviously, like that's what is it with me? I'm one person that I feel like sometimes maybe people misunderstand me. Like when I see someone doing really good, in all honesty, I'm not someone that's gonna come in and say, "Hey, let me attack" or whatever. I
Yeah.
usually like to be like, "Yo, like hook me up, hook a girl up. Like, what are you doing? Like, is it something I can do? Like those deals? Can I also get in there? Like, how can I improve my life? Because clearly you're doing really well." And which, like, when you're talking about like giving things away, I do remember I saw a video of yours because I've been following you. I would also watch your videos. It's a lot of things. So you're talking to me maybe a bit blank, like just knowing what you actually saw from my channel now. But I've
Mm.
been following you like since back then. So even
Wow.
when you're talking of you gave things away, I fully know. What I didn't realize was that you also gave away your cars. But I do
Mm.
remember you were mentioning that I gave away all my suits, I gave away my designer clothes, I gave
Yeah.
away money. The time that you were talking of moving from the Auflugau and everything, the
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
were basically were things there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So obviously it means that you are doing really well, which is obviously, first of all, congratulations for that.
Thank
But
you.
I also want to get to a level of buying a Bentley. Like, where can we go? Like, where can we get this success, Jay?
Well, people love to say, "Oh no, it's God," but I'll say yes. It's God, but it's God and hard work. It's God and hard work. By the way, I'm actually I'm 28. I'm turning 29 on the I'm turning 29 on the 18th of December. So maybe just a little bit of a background, so that there's probably people who are here and they don't know who I am. They don't know, oh, what is it with this guy, what's going on here. Maybe just give me 2 minutes just to take you through just a bit of my journey. I'm just gonna paraphrase it so that everyone can get a hold of what we are on about. I started ministry. I started ministry when I was 13 years old. You know, that's when
Mm-hmm.
that's when I went into ministry when I was 13. So all I've ever known from the age of 13 has been, ministry. Moving around and just doing ministry and everything. At the age of 18, I joined, I became part of the cult. I joined the cult. I traveled. I went all the way to, to Ghana. From Ghana, went to Benin. Benin. We got to the capital of Benin. It's called Cotonou. We went there. We did things. Everything is out there on YouTube and on the internet. We did things. We came back. So I moved from Zimbabwe. I came to South Africa. I led one of the biggest ministries in the Eastern Cape with thousands of people, who used to attend there. Pictures are there on my Instagram and pictures are there online everywhere. So 2019, I got to a point where I was feeling empty. I had everything, by the way, like the Bentley I bought now, all the cars I bought now. I had better cars than all this, during those days, from 2019, going back there, I had better cars. At some point, I was even, being driven around, to church, do business and whatnot, in a Rolls Royce. And all those, videos are there online. I was attacked, severely, when we used to move around with the Rolls Royce and stuff. So this like not the first, these cars I have now, they're like, small. It's like I'm just trying. If I try to compare myself with where I'm coming from. So it got to a point where I was like, you know what, I'm tired. I'm tired of everything that I'm doing, this whole cult thing. I'm empty inside. Even when I try to pray, I don't feel the prayer. I don't feel anything. I'm trying so hard. I became suicidal at some point. I attempted to commit suicide, but it didn't work out. It failed. So that's where I'm coming from, and that's where I'm going. So 2019, I felt God touching me strongly, and He gave me a condition and said, if you want to live, and if you want to live long, if you want to live, your condition is that you have to go out there and denounce everything that you used to do in public. Don't just go in your closet and pray and say, God, I'm sorry, and then I'll forgive you in public. No, but He said to me, go and denounce it in public. The same place you used to do these things, go and denounce everything. That's when I started coming online. That's when I started coming online. I started, talking about the cult and everything. It was difficult for me to talk about it. It was not easy. Imagine someone at the point, now I only have, one bodyguard, at the time I had maybe like 10 bodyguards moving with me. I had maybe like 15 of them. When I'm landing in East London at the airport, let's say I fly to Durban, I fly to Joburg or anywhere, it was known in East London that when J. Israel is landing at the airport, he just shuts down the whole place, because my media people will be there, my security will be there, maybe like 5 cars waiting for me outside, and then, nobody moves when I'm moving. It was that kind of, setup. You understand? So I felt like, okay, I'm going to do this. I went public, I spoke about it, and in the process, there is something about the truth. Whenever you begin to speak the truth, it is impossible to speak the truth without, exposing a lie. So in the process of me speaking my truth, I began to expose lies. I began to talk about lies and the amount of wickedness that was happening in the body of Christ at the time, and that is still happening even up to now. So I'm sure that's when you also got to know. So I was just trying to give you a bit of a... Anyway, the floor is yours. You are the YouTuber. Me, I'm just a small boy who's just growing up. So platform is yours.
No, as I said, I've been following you, so I know all this, but I felt it was also going to be important for people or ninjas that don't know you to basically understand and get your
Okay.
backstory right. And I feel like the live that I even uploaded on my YouTube channel where you did with Jackie Pamudze, I feel like she went very deep into the stuff that happened. And so those stuff, that's why like I just feel like, okay, we can talk about them, but really you have already spoken about them. Which
I think there's a
obviously
bit of a
like
problem with your speaker or something. I can hardly hear you.
is it?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah, I can hear you now. Perfect.
Or maybe I was too far.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying that, you know, I feel like people that follow you already know the story. People that are subscribed to me, they should know the story because I have the whole live over there on my channel. When you did the interview with Jackie Pamudze, and obviously you were talking about all the occultic stuff and the stuff that you actually did. And if you watch the video where I actually commented on that, I broke down a lot of stuff. And I do just have to say that, Jay, like, thank you, you know, because it's like me being someone that was once under, you know, false prophets and stuff, the
Oh, you've
churches
been
and
there.
everything.
Do you mind name
Yo.
dropping? Who was he?
Yeah, that's not a bodyguard. I don't have a bodyguard. No, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not afraid to say it. I was under Bushel's church at
Okay.
one point in my life, right?
Oh,
And I left 20. I'd say I officially left 2019, but
okay.
I went through my fear stage where you couldn't really talk about it because of all the stuff that, you know, obviously your mind was filled with and stuff. But now, like, I'm not part of the church and whatever, and I'm fine. Okay, that's okay. And so
Okay.
that's why I'm basically saying that I'm not really going to get into that because that information is already out there. But I do
Okay.
want to say thank you because at least you're one of those that came out and basically told us the truth to say, guys, things like this actually do exist. And you guys need to be careful of this and that and that. I do remember within the live, I was very much interested in a lot of stuff. Like, it was just, there was a lot that happened that I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know. So thank you so much for that. However, at this moment, obviously, you're moving on with your life, which is something that is great. I do believe everyone deserves a second chance. If God can forgive us, like I don't have a reason to hold on to something that God has already forgiven someone over. You understand what I'm saying? Or maybe I feel like it would be a bit easier for me because I was not part of your church. I was not part of the people perhaps maybe that gave money and everything. Because I feel like it also comes in different ways. When sometimes you feel like someone deceived you and someone that just comes and says, hey, this and this happened, it would be easier for me to like look past that than someone maybe that you were preaching to every day and this person didn't know the real truth. So I feel like obviously that different kinds of people, the same way that the people that used to preach to me and I had to find out that it was lies, it's not as easy for me to can just say, okay, I'm moving past that situation, you understand? Jay, and Jay has a lot of money, in my opinion. Okay, because that's
No,
why
I'm not. No, I don't have a lot of money. I just have. I have enough money to you know to live until you know the next day. We can safely put it that way.
that when it comes to that, you will not really get into that. I've been asking and asking and asking. It's fine.
Okay.
But just to clarify, do you have a church right now?
No, you know, this is some. Thank you for asking that question. You know, I shut down. I shut down. You know, a church. Maybe let's say it's gonna be 2 years now. I'm not preaching anywhere. I don't have a church. You know, and just to put it out there, you know, I had to shut down a you know a church, you know, that used to have thousands of people, you know, only because I, you know, I wasn't feeling what I was doing because I was empty, and I just decided to shut down everything. So it's gonna be 2 years now. I'm not taking anybody's money. I'm not taking anyone's offering. I'm not. So maybe those who think, oh, maybe he's got all this money because church and what. No, it's gonna be 2 years now. I'm not doing church.
Okay, so Jay, I want to find out, knowing everything that you know, because obviously, as I'm saying in the life, you did explain a lot of stuff that happened in the underworld, right?
Yeah.
And then I feel like because of now I'm someone that has been at a point where I used to see these things happen and I'm like, oh, they're coming from the powers it comes from is from above. Others,
Yeah.
obviously, we don't know where those powers come from, but I do know that others were just pure lies and manipulation and stuff. Would you say that we still have pastors, real men of God that perform miracles and the miracles are from God?
Oh, no. Trust me, first, first and foremost, God is real. God is real, and the power of God is real. Miracles are real. Prophecies, everything is real. Because the presence of the fake and the false cannot disqualify the presence of the true. So anywhere you see the fake, you must know that there is no original fake, and there's no fake that is original. A fake is always an imitation of the original. So God is there, mirror, everything is there. And because we all have all those things, I want you to know that we still have true men of God, performing true miracles, who are speaking, the real mind of God. We still have those people. I've actually dropped a few names on my Facebook. I cannot, to say this one is true, but based on my experience in the cult, all I can say is to give people pointers, to say once you see a pastor, telling you that for you to be protected, you must come and have water, and for his protection, he needs bodyguards. Then that doesn't make sense. Do you understand? You cannot be protected by a sticker, yet the person who's making the sticker for you is protected by bodyguards. So already you know that there's something suspicious about this person. In my case, I have a I've got bodyguards that I move with right now, not because I want to, not because I have to. I love my space. I love being alone. I love, moving freely. But during my time, the time I was, talking about things, I gathered a lot of enemies. They've attempted to kill me more than 5 times. They sent, I think, just before I did a live broadcast with Jackie Pamutse, she came to my house. She was delivering some books, that she was selling at the time. I ordered maybe like 10 or so. I can't remember the number. So she delivered the books at my house. And when I'm sure even when she got there, she could see like the people that were there and stuff like that. It's not like I needed or I need, these bodyguards. I don't even want them. I don't need them. But because of the enemies I gathered, it's like I was taking food from their mouths, when it's like they're about to eat and then I take the food and throw it away when I began to talk about all these cults and everything. I don't know if you understand. So I have, these people I move with, for my safety. So I was just trying to justify, that. So already I can give you pointers to say this one is, if you see someone who does this, is false. Someone who does this is false. Someone who does this is false. Someone who does this is false. And all the red lights, will already be there whenever you begin to, see things and stuff. You just have to use the spirit of discernment as well so that you can know exactly what's up.
Okay,
I
yeah,
don't know if
no,
I
that's
answered you
true.
well. Yeah.
No, you did. As I said, Jay, I've been following you. I know all this. I remember the lives that you actually did.
Okay.
There was the time it seemed like you moved out of the country. There's a lot that happened. So I was basically following, and I obviously do understand. However, I know that there was a time where you got arrested, and I'm not really going to get into that simply just
Okay.
because I feel like things that has to do like with the legal system. Sometimes, let's just put it out. But when you came back, I feel like that was the time when you basically stopped or reduced talking about the revelations and talking about the stuff that you were talking about before. Would you say that being arrested basically told you, did you did you think and changed your mind to say I'm not really going to get into like exposing again? Because when you came back, you were not talking about those stuff as much anymore.
Okay, I was arrested, I was arrested, and I actually went to Sun City. I stayed in Sun City for some time, and I was arrested this year in February on the
Yeah.
1st. Yeah, on the 1st of February, I was inside. I was at Sun City, but all the charges and everything, that were laid against me, they didn't make sense because everything was just fabricated. Everything was just people were trying to set me up. So I wouldn't say when I came already, even when I went in, I was not talking about those things anymore. I last spoke about all you hear now is if you see somebody saying Jay said this, they're taking my videos from earlier, from last year and stuff like that. When I went to prison, I was already not talking about anything because I felt like I was done. I was done talking. I did my part, and then I now went into my own private space where I was like, okay, I need to find myself. I need to work on myself so that I can now begin to do what God has ordained me to do. So it might seem like I stopped when I went to prison. When I came out, you go to prison, you spend some time in prison, you come out. As soon as you come out, you cannot come out and be all over the place saying this, saying that. I needed time as well, to work on myself, to heal, because when I came out, I was actually sick. It was bad. So I was, that was like my first arrest in 28 years. So I didn't really, cope. But the experience was great because, to be honest with you, I lived like a king in prison. I'm telling you, I
You
really,
have
really
some
lived.
things that I need so that if I ever have to go in there, that I live like a king, you know? No, but it's good to hear that because I do remember when you came out, you did put out a post and you did say you also had to go to the hospital.
Yes,
You
yes, I
said that
did.
you
I did.
needed time, which obviously was worrisome, but there was not really much that, most of us could say because I don't really comment under anyone that is famous or someone that I talk about. Like I keep all my comments to YouTube.
Okay.
I don't really like come to Instagram or even go live. You're the first person that I'd say I spoke of, and I even went live with. You understand?
Oh, wow. Nice.
So yeah, yeah. So okay, no, that's fine. But now what I want to also find out is this: you
Yes.
are you're someone young, right? Being young and also being a man of God, would you say it's difficult?
It's very difficult. I'll tell you why. It's very
Mm-hmm.
difficult. It's very, very difficult because, you know, firstly, I'm not bad looking. I'm not saying I'm good looking, but I'm also saying I'm not bad looking. I'm not that bad. You understand? So that alone is a problem. Before we even talk about anything, just that alone is a problem because immediately I stand in front of people, before they start thinking about what I'm going to say, especially, the other gender, your gender. Immediately before
The gender
they
that is
open their
mostly
ears to
hearing
hear what I
that.
have to say. Sorry.
Mhm. No, I'm saying the gender that is here ninjas because I know they're commenting. I paused their comments because they were distracting me.
So so already it's a problem. Before they can listen to what I'm saying, they're already seeing a husband. Some are seeing a Ben 10. Some are seeing a, a boyfriend. Some are seeing a husband to be. Some mothers are seeing their son-in-law. So already that's a problem. That's a problem. Being young, You know, being a man of God and being young, it's a big problem, because at the end of the day, me, I don't hide. You know, I don't hide anything about myself. Me, I tell people clearly, I tell them I'm open, I'm human. At the end of the day, no matter how much I can talk about Jesus, I'll never sleep with Jesus, No matter how much I can say Jesus and shout fire and everything, that fire will never bend my emotions and my feelings. So even as a young man, I'm going through a time where the blood is hot, the blood is hot. And these are things that many men of God, always run away from talking about. But this is the reality of life. Men of God are also human. The reason why people tend to judge men of God is because us as men of God, we have given people, a picture of these perfect men, who don't have emotions, who don't have feelings, who don't have, whenever they see a woman, they don't feel anything. Well, if I see a woman and she's pretty, I'll definitely look. I see a woman, I mean, if I see a woman, and at times you can be preaching, it's real. This is what you will never hear a pastor talking about. If I see, I'll be busy preaching, Jesus is good. Oh, Lord, somebody, do you lift up your hand? And if I see a beautiful woman, inside I can pause and I'm like, I'm like, dang, she's fine, but I'll never say it out loud. I'll just whisper it inside. These are things that people, so you see now, that is a problem, I mean, I'm not married, and I'm still young, I'm still growing, I started ministry when I was 13. At the time, I was trying really to run away from things and everything. But, when you get to 24, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, the blood is too hot. So it's difficult. It's difficult for me to know that there are women who are willing to sleep with me any minute. If I pick up my phone and I say, hey, how are you? Where are you? Come here now. They'll run. They'll be like, oh, I'll go there. It's difficult to know that I can do all this, but I have to control myself. Controlling myself is one of the most difficult things that I have to do every single day of my entire life.
Dave, I want to find out, Dave.
Yeah.
What do you think of fornication?
You see, Paul, when Paul is talking about fornication in the scriptures, he says, if you can't control yourself, then get married. Because he is not trying to disqualify feelings. He's not disqualifying the fact that, you can be a pastor and have feelings. He knows, he knows that we also have feelings. We also feel things. So he says, if you feel like you've gotten to a point where you feel like, hey, the blood is too hot, get married. So already he's not condoning fornication. He's not, he is disqualifying fornication, And fornication is a sin according to the scriptures. But remember, in as much as it is a sin, it doesn't mean that after you fornicate, you've been disqualified by God. Because Jesus did not die for those who are perfect. He died for the fornicators. He died for the thieves. He died for the murderers. So you can do it today. The Bible says, the mercies of God are new every morning. You can go to bed as a drunkard tonight and wake up tomorrow as a saint. That's how the grace of God works. That's how the grace of God operates. You can be watching me now and you are probably on top of another, a person's child, but you can wake up tomorrow morning. You can wake up tomorrow morning.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. So fornication, according to the scripture, it's not right. But we cannot also run away from the fact that, listen, the only perfect man that you must know under the sun, let me give you this one. The perfect person who lived under the sun up to today is Jesus Christ. Only one. Only one, nobody else. Nobody else.
So, but then Jay, what I want to find out is this.
Yeah.
As people, and this is what I really used to do, and I feel like since I've been so disappointed many times, I no longer do that, you know. Before I would never sit and talk to you. That's the
Okay.
honest truth. Like that's how I am because I grew up in a Christian home. I'm Benda. And so I know you, because you're from Zimbabwe, Zimbabweans and Benda, we originate from the same ancestors, right?
Yeah.
So it's like the same way that Zimbabweans are like our mothers, our grandmothers are so, their faith is so on God. That's how we're raised. And we're raised to fear God. We're also raised to fear men of God. And we're also raised to hold men and women of God to a certain level, to a certain standard.
Okay.
Do you feel like these days, even people that are not called, they are calling themselves men of God, hence it is difficult for them to basically be even better than someone like me that is not a preacher of any kind. I'm just like, I'm just a Christian. And I'm not saying that that excuses me to sin, but I feel like I just feel like there should be a level of difference between a man of God or a woman of God that's supposed to lead people and someone that is not called to per se. Like, what is your view on that? Do you feel like men of God should be viewed the same way that we view anyone that is a Christian, or should they also be held at a certain level, at a certain standard?
Do you know why people get disappointed whenever they hear that a man of God has done something?
Mm-hmm.
People get disappointed because they tend to follow the pastor, but they don't follow the God of the pastor, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
all they respect is the pastor, not his God. That is why they feel like not the day they don't go to church, you know, they're not
Mm-hmm.
really afraid of God, but they're afraid of the pastor. Whatever they do in
Mm-hmm.
secret or in public, they do it not because they are pleasing God, but because they are pleasing the pastor, you know. But this is a narrative, you know, that has been driven out there for quite some time. But the reality
Mm-hmm.
and the truth of the matter, you know, is that a man of God is not supposed to be like a king when it comes to saving people. But a man of God is
Mm-hmm.
supposed to be a servant. He's a servant of God who is sent by God to come and serve people. So a man
Mm-hmm.
of God is not sent to come and demand respect, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because most of the respect that is given to the man of God, it goes overboard. It goes a little bit overboard and it turns into, you know, worship. So many people, they don't know that they're actually worshiping the man of God in when they're busy thinking that they are respecting him, because there's respect and then there's worship, you know. So you know, if I have to answer what you just said now, I think it's time for people to look at men of God as human people who look like them. The only difference between yourself and myself is that I have a calling. The only difference between yourself and myself is that, you know, I'm anointed by God. That's the only difference. You understand? But when it comes to people looking at the men of God and everything, that is why, you know, people get disappointed and people cry, you know. I tell people, and I've been telling people, that when you hear me talk and when you hear me preach, you know, I, don't follow me. Don't put your faith in me, but put your faith in God. Because if you put your faith in me, then one day you meet me in the nightclub, you are definitely going to leave Christianity, you know? So you are leaving Christianity because you are following a man and you're not following God. So I think look at your look at your pastor as your teacher from school, you know? You can respect your man of God, it's fine. You can respect your pastor, it's fine. The same way you used to respect your teacher at school because he's, you know, he's superior in terms of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. But when it comes to anything else, we're just the same. You and I are the same. There's no difference.
Jay, you were in a scandal recently with
Okay.
a certain lady that is very well endowed, you know. let's talk about that because I remember I also reported on that. I did. And there were also other bloggers that I saw that were reporting on that. And the same way that I'd say, even with the comments that I saw people basically saying, was that because of you're a man of God,
Okay.
perhaps there's a certain type of woman, not a certain type, but there's a certain behavioral type of woman that as a man of God you need to have, and
Okay.
not necessarily this and that. What do you have to say about that?
Well, first and foremost, I respect that woman. She's she's, other than looking pretty and everything else, she's doing well for herself in life. She
Mm-hmm.
works in the bank, and she's not a slave queen. I saw in your video you were saying, Jay's dating a slave queen. What, she can appear to be one, but she's not. Because remember, a slave queen is a woman, who's lazy to work but loves to eat money. So she's not like that. You understand?
Okay.
Yeah, she works
Yes.
for herself. She takes care of her family and all that. So um, we took pictures, because um, she's someone that eh, 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 she's someone that I've got something going on with. You understand? So we took pictures, and when we took pictures, uh, she posted the pictures on her stories, on her WhatsApp stories. Then people took those pictures from the WhatsApp stories, then they started circulating the pictures. But there's a message. I actually allowed her to do that because she asked me, she was like, "Do you think I should post this?" Then I was like, "Yeah, go ahead and post." She even refused it, she was like, no, let me not do it. These pictures, they don't really look too good, for for a person like you. Then I said, "No, go ahead and post. It's fine." Then the pictures went viral. Everyone was talking about the pictures. I was sending a narrative, you know, that many people, you see, many people, when it comes to marriage, you understand, when it comes to marriage, especially Christians, we are very hypocritical when it comes to marriage. We end up marrying women we want. In fact, we end up marrying women who are deemed fit by the community around us, but we don't love those women, you know. So
That's true.
I don't wanna be in a position like that. I don't want to marry a woman I'm not happy with, simply because the community is expecting me to be with a certain type of woman. If I don't marry that type of woman, then who's going to marry her? Even in the scriptures, you know, the Bible says he who finds a wife finds a good thing. So the Bible doesn't say he who finds a wife who is saved, or a wife who loves God, or whatever. No, he who finds a wife. You go out there, you look. And as a pastor, you have to look. Even as a man of God, you have to look. As a man of God, if you see the one you want, you have to say, "Hi, how are you? Please give me your number. Let me call you at some point." These are certain truths that many men of God always run away from. But this is the reality this is the reality of life. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, pictures went out, and at the time I was like, okay, let me not even address this whole thing of pictures and stuff like that, because I'm not going to talk about it. It was not a scandal because I was not with anyone's wife. I was not caught, in a sex tape. I was not in a. So it was just pictures of me and her, standing together, and I just put my hand on her, and that was it. So. Uh, and I'm also saying to all the young guys who are in ministry, who are pastors, who are trying to preach, who are trying to be men of God, be yourself. Me, I am me. I am myself. I don't fake to be somebody I'm not. That is why I can come out today and then people say, "Hey, we don't understand this guy." Tomorrow say, "Hey, but how is he doing this when he's supposed to be, this and that?" No, me, I'm different. I live for me. I don't live for people. And I don't like church girls, by the way. I've been talking about this for years. I don't like church girls.
Wait, that makes absolute no sense, Jay. Then who's supposed to marry the church girls then?
Typical church boys.
Oh, wow.
Typical church
Okay.
boys are good for the church girls.
See, but I think that that is one of those topics that people would also need to like dig deep in.
Uh-huh.
Um, in terms of, yes, it is true. There's a certain, it's not necessarily even to say that perhaps maybe what a person does, but
Yeah.
it's the same thing as, and this is not what I'm saying about your woman. Please get me right.
Mhm.
It's about like if maybe you're going to a church and you hear that the pastor married the stripper,
If
like
the
there's a
stripper makes
certain,
the pastor happy, if the stripper makes the pastor happy, let him be. Listen,
that's true.
let me say
That's
something.
true.
Let me
I'm
say
not
something. When we're still
disagreeing.
there, listen to
Okay.
this.
Yes.
There's life after church, you know.
Yes.
There's bedroom after
Mhm.
pulpit. You cannot be
Yes.
with a woman who looks too good with you in
Mhm.
pictures, but when it comes to the bedroom side, you are psychologically, mentally, spiritually, not happy. You see.
Mhm.
So if the
Yeah.
stripper makes the pastor happy, let him go. If the prostitute makes the man of God happy, let him be. That's what the man of God wants. You understand? This thing
Mhm.
of saying, because you're a man of God, you must live like this, has made a lot of men of God not to be happy. That is why you hear a man of God was caught with a prostitute. He's not getting the prostitute kind of treatment in his home. Me, the day I get married, I want to marry a whore in bed. Yeah, I said that. I want to marry a whore in bed, a woman in the
Okay.
streets, you know, a whore in bed, a lady in the streets, and a woman in church, a mother of my kids. So all those qualities must be there. You understand?
Mhm.
So yeah.
No, we do get that. However, Jay, I think there's a question that if I leave here not asking, ninjas are gonna attack me. Jay, what
Okay.
do you do for business? What
What do I do?
business are you doing? Yes.
Um, what business do I do? Well, I'm not sure if I'm not really comfortable. Number one, uh, I'm not educated. I don't have metric. I didn't write metric. I don't have metric. I don't have any, educational, kind of certificate and stuff like that. So me, I'm a dealerholic,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a dealer. I
Yeah.
deal, I deal in minerals, I deal in whatever that comes my way, you know, I buy it and I sell it to the next person, that's
Okay.
the kind of business that I do, you know. So yeah, I'm a dealer, basically. If I see a house and the house is cheap, I buy it and then I sell it to the next person. Whatever that comes, I buy and I sell. I buy and I sell. I buy and I sell. So that's it.
Okay. So ninjas, I hope that you guys had that because I saw that a lot of
I see
ninjas were
somebody
just
says the real question finally.
but like, okay, that would obviously make sense. Do you think that maybe you can also get to a point where you can? We have seen J. Israel, the pastor. We have seen J. Israel. The pre. Not me. Let me not say the pre. The time when you were talking about the occultic side. We've seen you as a
Yeah.
pastor. We see you as being very honest to say that listen, this is what I want and this is what I go for. This is what I believe in and everything. Do you think that at one point can you ever also start including like business, to teach your followers like certain business hustling skills? Because clearly for you to have the stuff that you have right now, you have to have the knowledge to run a successful business or whatever it is that you do. Would you consider that?
Oh no, definitely, definitely. I'm actually going to I'm actually going to do that. Sometime soon.
Mhm.
I'm actually going to
Mhm.
do that. There's a lot of things that are happening out there. There's a lot of ways. People are making money. Everyone who's watching me now, for instance, I stay in Santin. I stay in Sandton. You know, it's a very, you know, good place to stay. Everything, you can't just stay there if you're not, you know, quite sure of your pockets. You understand? So for me to even get to that point, you know, I was also given knowledge, you know, by someone. You know, so the same knowledge that I was also given, I'm also going to take that knowledge and give it to the next person as well. There's a lot of ways that people can, you know, can use to make money, even if you don't have certificate, even if you're not educated or anything like that. You understand? So I'm going to share that. I'm going to share, you know, different things about how to make money, you know, how to do deals, you know, how to spend money as well, and you know, you survive, because you cannot buy a Bentley if you're a 9 to 5 person, unless you're a CEO or a
I think
manager
before
or something.
everyone else gets, I think before everyone else gets that information, can I get some private classes?
I'm
I need to buy the battery before Ninja, so that, you know, when you are busy educating, I'm already rolling around with my Bentley as well, you know? Because I'm the one that was asking the question, so Ninjas cannot be stingy. I must get the information first. When they write to me that I'm already done there, I'm going to the next one.
I see somebody just typed somebody just typed J, is it OLX, and they're laughing. You know, all those people on OLX, you can start selling a suite for 5 rand. If you're wise enough and if you are, you know, smart enough, you can start with a small suite of 5 rand and end up owning a shop, a whole shop of sweets. So it doesn't matter. You don't have to laugh at, you know, that woman who's by the roadside who's selling tomatoes. That's business. That's a businesswoman. If she puts enough wisdom into play and effort and all that hard work, before you know it, you know, she can own a farm. So when it comes to business and everything, it's not about starting big and having something big. You start somewhere, you start small, you know, you start small. From there, like myself, when I started, it was just, I think it was what, maybe like 20,000 rands, that somebody came to me and said, hey, you know what, there's this deal that I want to do. I want to buy, you know, fuel and do this with fuel, and then I want to supply this fuel here. Please help me out. I just need maybe like 100,000 rand. So I said, oh no, I don't have 100,000, but I've got 20. So he said, okay, bring the 20, put it in. When money comes out, I'm going to give you such a percentage, you know. And then we started moving from there. The next thing, money was paid in. When money was paid, you know, I took that money, I just took out a bit. I took that same money, I put it again into another business. I put it again into another business. I put it again into another business. You know, before you know it, money is growing. I do pay tax. I have South African bank accounts and everything that are well audited by the state. Yep.
Okay. So listening, just you guys can hear, because honestly, I won't lie, I really wanted to be like that part. I really, really, really wanted, because I'm just like, and then all this cars and everything, like, okay. But now there's also a question, Jay, that I have, and I'm asking you this as a man of God, right? What I want to find out is this. So if someone, like, I'll give an example with myself or
Okay.
anyone, right? So if it's a matter of you are a Christian and you are at a point where you are looking for a significant other, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you did say that you can sleep a sinner tonight and wake up a saint tomorrow.
Yeah.
So then does that mean that we can sin every day and just pray at night before we sleep?
No, that's not the case, you know.
So like,
It's not
okay,
like that.
okay, before you answer that as well, so that you can answer both of them at the same time.
Okay.
Obviously, like you said things like, I want a whore in bed, I want a lady, like, you know, a lady in the street,
Yeah.
or whatever, the cute and everything. Then how is that possible for people that are like, we are going to follow the Bible strict,
Mm-hmm.
because the Bible says thou shalt not have sex right before marriage,
Mm-hmm.
isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So then how does then someone get to know this is a whore or not? If they're now saying, let me follow the Bible and be a Christian that is not going to sleep with someone before I marry them.
Okay. I just want to say, Christians are hypocrites. That's one thing for sure. Christians are the biggest hypocrites you can ever meet under the sun. We
That's
admire
true.
things in private
Yeah.
that we demonize in public, but we admire things, privately. When it comes to marrying and all those things, relationship and stuff like that, the fact that the grace of God is abundant and the grace of God is available, it doesn't mean that that's a ticket for you to sin. You understand? But also at the
Yeah.
same time, when you're in a relationship, for you to get to know your person, you have to talk. There are certain conversations that many Christians always run away from. You understand? When they're in a relationship, they want to talk about God all the time. No, you can't be talking about Jesus all the time. There's a point where you need to ask her, so tell me, are you still a virgin? Oh, who broke your virginity? Was it nice? How was it? Okay, so tell me, since you've had sex before, because some people have had sex before, before they got saved, and then they got saved, we can't demonize people about that. So you have to talk. You have to ask your partner. All this thing of Christians who try to be holy, at night they're sending each other scriptures. My friend, other than sending scriptures, you should be asking, So tell me, when it comes to sex, how do you do it? Are you good? What's your favorite position? Since you have been, sexually active before, what's your favorite position? Oh, okay. Oh, that's how you like it. Oh, nice. Okay. So when it comes to kissing, how do you kiss? Do you like kisses? How do you like? Those are conversations to have with your partner, with your significant other. And it doesn't mean that when you're having those questions, when you're asking those questions, you are turning into a demon, or you are turning into you understand? You are trying to secure your future. What if you are, oh, I know pastors who got married, 2 weeks later they divorced, because now, before the marriage and everything, all they were talking about was the Bible every day. Genesis 1 verse 1, God in the beginning, the Bible says, hey, baby, let's pray. Too much spirituality that affected their physical side of things, and the marriage, did not last. You understand?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this is reality. I'm not here to preach to anyone, but I'm here to, we are just talking. So I see people are laughing and everything, but these are, private conversations that people have within themselves, and they're not comfortable talking about them. Me, I'm comfortable talking about everything because I know that these are the things that a lot of Christians are suffering from in private. They are
That's
afraid
true.
of asking their significant other, they've been afraid of complimenting their significant other to say, oh, baby, you know what? You look fine today. You look sexy. What's wrong with that? You look hot. Because women, Adam never did that. All his entire life, Adam in the scriptures, he never did that. The day the devil came just for 2 seconds and said, Eve, you look sexy, you look pretty, take the fruit and eat. That was the end of everything. There was a foreign voice that came and complimented the woman in a way that the woman had never been complimented before. And immediately the woman melted. You can be keeping your Christian girlfriend and say, no, I won't talk to her like this. A boy from the streets will come and say, oh, damn, you look hot. She'll be like, hey, my entire life I've never heard these words. And she'll be carried away and she'll be taken. So we should talk, But in talking, we also have to exercise self-control, Self-control, you control yourself, flee from sexual immorality, no sex before marriage. That's one thing for sure. I'm not saying go and have sex. No, I'm saying other than having sex and everything and sinning and stuff like that, ask questions, talk to your partner. Then you get to know what you're getting yourself into. Even the day you finally do it, after you get married, if it's not really what you expected, you also talk about it. Say, no, let's try to do this. Let's try to do this,
So now my question is this, right? Because we do have young men of God right now that are not married.
Yeah,
And
like myself.
Yes, like yourself, right? But the difference is that obviously you are someone that's open and you're someone that's willing to talk about this stuff, which is really refreshing and nice. I do have to say that. But now what I want to find out is that, like, how is it that you find that maybe like some young men of God, right?
Yeah.
Like others, they even have a church. Like this person is gonna maybe date this girl, and then maybe she's not even like necessarily like, you know, your type of church girl or whatever, right? And then like this girl is giving him the fantasies that he has, even though he's a man of God, because we do understand. After all, even if you're a man of God, you are also a man, right? So then I don't know, should I say what advice would you give this person if they are now, it's sort of almost as if they're sleeping with this girl, she satisfies the sexual desires, he speaks to her in this way, but then next week he's with another one, and then the following week he's with another one. Why is he not then getting that one, and then she's obviously, because let's say like him even tasting the forbidden fruit,
Yeah.
it's already like not biblical, right? If we're going through by the scriptures. So if he is with this person once and he realizes that this person actually gives me those desires, why then does he not just say, let me go ahead and just marry this person? Because I have seen. Then would you say that sometimes maybe it gets to that point where a person is just now enjoying sleeping with this person, then going to another, like just fornicating all around? It's not even a matter of, maybe this person is trying to find someone who they're gonna be like, I'm gonna minimize the stress of me having to go through a divorce after I've married someone. Do you understand?
Yeah. I
Yes.
hear you. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't get the last part you said. Just repeat again.
So what I'm simply saying is that when it's now a situation where a young man of God
Okay.
is like, instead of like this guy is sleeping, let's say he's now sleeping with 5 girls,
Okay.
but he slept, let's say, with girl 1 or girl 2 or girl 3, and he felt that this person satisfies my desires, right?
Okay.
And then, but instead of marrying her, he's now still just continuing to sleep with different people.
Okay.
But he's a man of God.
Okay.
Yes. So, like, what I'm asking is that to someone that is like that, what advice would you give that person?
Well, me, what I'll tell you, right? And I'm going to tell you this out of experience, you know. One thing about myself, I don't sugarcoat my truth, you know.
Yeah.
I don't sugarcoat my truth. I'm somebody who's been around, you know, and I've had beautiful girls in my life, you know, even as I was a man of God and everything and stuff like that. So I'm not going to give somebody advice based on what I had that it worked for somebody, but I'm going to tell you what worked for me, you know. I can tell you now that, you know, you can go around looking for the most beautiful woman and trying to find the right one. You know, you can be sleeping around with different women. I've been there, I've done that. I've slept with so many women, you know. I've had so many beautiful, not just beautiful, hot women in my life, you know, where I'm like, oh, you know, I think now I'm going to get married, I'm going to settle down. And then after some time, I'm fed up. I want, you know, someone who's better than this one. I can boldly tell you right now that at the end of the day, you know, I see, you know, you with me, you can come with, you know, judgmental comments and everything. I like them, you know, because I know that I'm pulling a nerve when I'm saying that. I'm speaking things that people are not comfortable talking about. You understand? So I've been there, I've done it, I've seen women, I've done everything, you know, I've popped champagne. When I'm when I'm talking about, you know, popping champagne, I've popped champagne. I've popped your, you know, your Verve, your, you know, your Dom Perignon, you know, your Ace of Spades. You know, I've chilled in places where, you know, I used to love drinking Hennessy, you know, not the normal one, not even the VSOP, but the XO, you know. That's like, that used to be my drink, you understand? At that time when I was doing those things, you know. But what I can say right now is that you get to a point where you realize that, it's at the end of the day, it's all vanity. It's not worth it. You can be around, you can be doing things, you can be doing this and that, you can be doing this and that, but it's not worth it. It's all vanity. You can be with the most beautiful girl, but at the end of the day, if you're empty inside, it really doesn't make sense and it won't help you in any way. So when I finally got to a place where I felt like, I think I'm done with this life, I want to calm down, I want to relax, I want to have at least one woman, one woman I'm going to love in 100 different ways, other than having 100 different women, and loving them in 100 different ways. I'd rather have one woman I'm going to love in 100 different ways. I'm going to fall in love with each and every day of my life. That is even better, and it's not easy. It's really not easy for you to, make up your mind and get to a point of, of saying that. It takes a lot of self-control and stuff like that. So if you're out there, you are struggling, with all these things, there's no amount of prayer, that can pray you out of, that kind of lifestyle. You get to a point where you are tired. In as much as prayer works, but if you are not yet tired of that life, personally as a person, you will find yourself going back again. So I got tired and then I stepped out, and that was it. So I think to someone who's struggling and everything, I can say right now that, do it. Do whatever you are doing. You will get tired at some point. And you must also know that you're not growing any younger. You're growing older. You're going to have a family at some point. So you should consider all those things. I'm trying to give a realistic advice because the audience that is here, some of them are not Christian and whatnot. And so I'm giving a realistic advice. Not if I'm to give a scriptural advice, people won't really, understand it. But this realistic advice, will work to say, go do it. When you finally get tired, you step out of it. And when you get tired, you step out. It's like a woman, we have slept with a lot of men and who's been, even with slave queens. Some of them have gotten to a point where they are not tired. They're not tired of being slave queens. They're not tired of sleeping with different men. They just want one man to love them and settle down, So if you're there, you will get tired. Your time will come and, you settle down.
But do you think it's fair for someone to go through that stage and still be someone that is like either a man or a woman of God?
Do I think it's what?
Do you think it's, how can I say this? Do you think it's fair?
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking from the perspective of, like, you're looking at this person as this is your man of God. Okay. And as you said in the beginning, we do get to a point where we pray God, but then we kind of look at this human as if this human is not really fully human,
Okay.
Which obviously is wrong, but that's something that is still really happening. And so sometimes when you find out that that person that you thought like is so close to God, this person portrays themselves as if they're living a holy life. Because let's not lie, if you are a pastor to a church and everyone just knows that, you sleep around or you are doing like certain stuff and they're just like, oh, my stage is going to pass, most high chances are people are obviously going to leave, right? So most people choose to just do it in private and not be honest about it. Do you think that it's fair, or do you feel like it's kind of like deceitful?
No, it's the highest level of deception, If you feel like you're not fit to lead, just leave the pulpit and spend some time, like what I did myself, I can tell you right now that I'll take cocaine, I've taken cocaine. Cocaine is like one of the most expensive drugs you can ever find. I've taken cocaine. I've chilled with, so many slave queens. We are there, we're chilling, we're all taking cocaine, we're having fun, we're popping bottles and stuff like that, And after that, I'll go and I'll stand in front of people and I'll preach. I'm a worshiper when I sing. When I worship, I can assure you that all the people who have been to my services, when I used to have a church, I can tell you right now that when this guy sings, I would sing to a point where I would worship to a point. I'm not a good singer, but I'm a worshiper, So I'd worship to a point where people will be crying, screaming, shouting, but yet I'm high on coke. I'm high on cocaine, I'm high on cocaine, but people are screaming, people are shouting. So I got to know that they are not shouting and screaming because of the anointing, but they are shouting and screaming because I'm touching their emotions, you know, when I'm singing. So it's not about the anointing of God, but it's about the good voice and the good music that I'm giving to them. So I got to a point where I felt like, you know what, I can't be doing this. I can't be coming here. I'm high on coke. I can't wait to, just leave the pulpit, go and sleep because I was partying very hard the last night, you know. And then today it's a Sunday morning. I'm catching a flight early in the morning. I'm hung over as hell. I can't even think. I don't even know what to do with myself. I have to take cocaine, to boost my system so that when I get there and I stand in front of people, I'll preach. I'll preach to a point where, oh, Owamie, but I felt like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I can't. In as much as it's a calling, it's everything, I can't do this anymore. I need to sit down with myself, I need to sit down with myself, do a self-introspection. Which one, and I need to choose. Do I choose the world or I choose, God? What is it that I have to do? Which one do I choose? Do I choose to serve God or do I choose to do this other thing? So I shut down the church. That's how I started, going hardcore into business. You see, shut down the church and I have to work on myself. So it's not fair, for you to be serving God and serving his people and doing certain things behind the back. It's not good. It's not fair on God's people, because when God's people are coming to you, they're coming to you hoping, that you're going to deliver a word that is going